Give y'all a minute to get up in here, but I'm gonna get on this real quick. I gotta do this quickly, kind of. So I wanted to address the latest distraction tactic, the latest deflection in regards to this Ryan Garcia popping dirty shit. Okay, Ryan Garcia fought Devin Haney on April 20th, and the drug test that he took the day before and the day after came back positive for performance enhancing drugs. And not only that, but he used an illegal IV. And well, really, that's really what's in play here. This whole thing about the weight, Ryan Garcia came in 3.2 pounds overweight the day of the weigh-in, the day of the official weigh-in, and refused to try to get the weight down. And so he violated that, but Devin Haney still agreed to fight him. So that's not an issue. People are saying that it's in the lawsuit or whatever, that they're trying to make that an issue with the New York State Athletic Commission, but that's not really what's going on. But I did want to address the whole thing about the weight, all right? The weight in regards to the Devin Haney Regis PROGRAIS fight. You see, in order to distract and deflect and to play, well, look what you did over there and look at this and look at that, they are saying that Devin Haney came in too heavy against Regis PROGRAIS when they fought in California, and that according to the California State Athletic Commission, Devin Haney violated and he cheated. Basically, that's what they're saying. What was cracked, big dog? Did you hit the gutter balls? Yes, I did. Yes, I had a lot of gutter balls. I'm not great at bowling, but I did do a lot of strikes. See, I bowl in a binary code in zeros and ones. So either I strike or I gutter ball, but that's neither here nor there. I had to warm up. Anyway, so people are saying, a lot of people you would think would know how to do a little bit of fact checking, are saying that Devin Haney came in too overweight in California and he violated some California thing. Yeah, I like football to a degree. Yeah, I don't keep up with the NFL anymore, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, so they're saying that, okay, since Devin Haney is saying Ryan Garcia is cheating, or that Ryan Garcia cheated in their fight, they want to now say, well, Devin Haney cheated during the Regis PROGRAIS fight because he came in overweight, right? The day of the fight, right? At the weigh-in, they both came in at 140. But the day of the fight, right, the morning of the fight on the 9th, December 9th, 2023, they're saying that he came in at 165 pounds. Now, I don't know where they got that from. I looked all over the place. I tried to find it with the California State Athletic Commission. I couldn't find that in particular. But, okay, let's say that that's what it is, right? Because that's what's being reported by these old media people. So they're saying he came in at 165. Regis PROGRAIS came in at 157.2. Okay, 157. Now, those two numbers are important. All right. Regis PROGRAIS 157 and Devin Haney's 165 that they say he came in at. All right. So they're saying that according to the New York State Athletic Commission, Devin Haney cheated, and now they're saying that Devin Haney should be stripped of that win. But understand that if that were the truth, if that were a fact, if that were the case, why did the New York State Athletic Commission even let them fight in the first place? Right? Why'd they let them fight? Because it's not like taking a drug test where you got to wait 3 days at a minimum to get the results. No, you know the day of the weigh-in how much a motherfucker weigh. And so they're saying that Devin Haney came in, and they're talking about some 15%. Oh, Devin Haney came in over 15%. There's a 50% allowance of on the day of the weigh-in that you can come in over your sanctioned weight, right? Which for them was 140. If that were the case and Devin Haney came in at 165, that's over 17%, right? That's over 17% of 140. So why didn't they stop the fight? Why did they allow the fight to continue? Okay, well, let's say that's true, right? Regis PROGRAIS didn't have an issue with it, clearly, right? Because they still fought. Just like Devin Haney didn't have an issue with Ryan Garcia coming in 3 pounds overweight the day of the weigh-in. You understand what I'm saying? So are we understanding what's going on? See, the difference between what Ryan did with his weight is he didn't come in at 140. He came in at 143.2, right? Devin Haney came in at 140 against Regis PROGRAIS. Regis PROGRAIS came in at 139 or 140 or something like that. So that's important to understand as well. Fury lost the fight hands down, but it wasn't because his country is at war. No, Usyk whooped his ass. Usyk is undisputed now, but they're trying to strip. They're going to strip Usyk of his of one of the belts, so he's not going to be undisputed for much longer. Yeah, Tyson was winning that fight. I agree. He was doing good. Well, he wasn't win. Well, it's either here. No, it's up in the air for me. But Usyk definitely came through and handled his business. But back to this, right? So they're saying that Devin Haney cheated. He came in over 15%, right, of the sanctioned weight, right? That's what they're saying. Ben said he was fully clothed and everything. I mean, that's fine, right? Because the only time you have to strip completely for a weigh-in is during the official weigh-in. And that's, so we're going to get into that too. When you can weigh in, when the weigh-in is supposed to happen. The official weigh-in. Yeah, he wants to be a big payday rematch. I don't blame him. No, I mean, they had a rematch clause. So, I mean, it is what it is. Tyson Fury has to activate that rematch clause. I don't know if he did that yet, but they had a rematch clause. So it was already understood that if Tyson Fury activated his rematch clause, if Usyk won, there would automatically be a stripping of his belt. That's why it happened. So, yeah, Usyk is probably not going to be undisputed for very long if Tyson Fury does indeed activate his rematch. So, Devin Haney, they're saying, this is what's going on all over YouTube now, because they're so desperate, right? They're so desperate to say that it's okay for Ryan Garcia to cheat, right? Oh, well, Devin Haney cheated over here against Regis PROGRAIS, so, you know, it's okay if Ryan Garcia cheated during his fight by using an illegal IV and by using performance-enhancing drugs. This is the narrative they're pushing now, right? But I had to do some fact-checking because I never heard about this. Freaking gnats. I never heard about this. I never heard about this goddamn 15% bullshit, right? So I did some research, and this is what I came up with. I got quite a bit of data here, so I'm gonna try to push on through it. So first thing first, right? Let's talk about this 15%. Let's talk about. I think I want to talk about the 15% first. So now they're saying in this article, California Commission, and this is from SB Nation, right? This is from SB Nation. California Commission passes new rule to curb extreme weight cutting. All right, so this is what they talking about. Oh shit, I'm pulling out the facts, so people are running away. Yeah, my viewership dropped by half when I started pulling out the receipts. Anyway, so they're talking about the 15%, right? So fighters weighing above 15% of their contracted limit on the day of the fight will no longer be allowed to compete. All right, that's 15%. That's what it says, right? So let's go on down here. Per a report by the ESPN. Now, this article came out in 2019, right? October 16, 2019. That's when this proposed rule was voted on by the people of the athletic commission. No more big science words, bro. My head's still thumping. Hey, you know, you gotta get your game up. Yeah, Tyson, yeah, he got worked over. But it says per report by ESPN on Tuesday, the California State Athletic Commission has unanimously passed a new rule during while meeting. Huh? On Tuesday, the California State Athletic Commission has unanimously passed a new rule during while meeting. Get some copy editors, SB Nation. What the fuck? While meeting at the Millennium Biltmore Hotel aimed at combating extreme weight cutting. The rule will now disallow any fighter who weighs more than 15% over their contracted weight limit on the day of the fight from competing on that night. Okay? And considering that California is pretty big fight state, this should have some implications in all combat sports, but perhaps more so in MMA. Il Ahahi Bilash was good. Now this was focused a lot toward MMA, right? This is where most of the focus was. Ryan B. Simple will most likely be positive tomorrow. Let's see. I mean, yeah, we're gonna see what happens. I don't know if they're even going to release the results tomorrow. Now, the commission hopes their new rule will help curb significant size disparities in the ring after the official weigh-ins are over. According to CSAC data, since the start of the year, there has been 28 out of 285 sanctioned MMA bouts. So a lot of this is focused on MMA bouts where the fighter gained more than 15% over the contracted weight. In boxing, they say only 9 out of 570 fights this year have seen that same thing happen. All right. But despite the commission's hope to make combat sports safer for its participants, some critics believe that this new rule might have some unintended consequences, such as fighters not fully hydrating to stay within the 15% limit. That's an issue as well. That could be an issue. Or doing the second weight cut on the day of the fight, that's not good, right? Cutting weight is not good, period. But depending on how much you're cutting. But I mean, 2 weight cuts in within 30 hours, that's crazy. That's a concern the commission takes seriously. But they say their ultimate goal is to get promoters and matchmakers to get fighters to closer to natural weights. All right, cool, whatever. Now, the 15% rule, right? They voted on it 5-0. But understand that the California State Athletic Commission operates, right? They have rules and regulations that's part of California state law, right? So this rule is not really a rule. It's more like a regulation or a law, right? Even though we know men can't make laws, but that's neither here nor there either. Here's the key thing about this. This was in 2019. This article. This is the latest thing I found on this 15% rule. Right? The latest information I got about it. Now, if you go at the bottom of this article, in multiple articles that I've seen, it says California new rule is expected to take about a year before it officially comes into effect. Okay? Now, a year. So we're talking about 2019. It takes a year as it goes through a legislation process. So it's not codified until it goes through a legislative process, right? Meaning that the senators and the congressmen of California have to vote on it. All right. This was just to get it to the legislative process. Then it has to go through state legislation in order for it to be codified. That means for it to fully and officially take effect. it has to go through California state regulations. It has to be signed into law by the governor. You understand what I'm saying? So the Senate and the House have to vote on it. It has to pass through the House and the Senate. It probably has to go through a couple committees before that. So it has to go through committees, then it has to go through the House and the Congress, and then once it passes through those two chambers, it has to go to the governor for the governor to sign. And like I said, I can't find, if anybody can find any information about this after 2000. I mean, I don't know. So that's what I could find about it, right? All right, cool. ABC Boxing. Let's go to here now. So this is another thing. Weight cutting and hydration in boxing and MMA. Now this just talks about concussions, traumatic injury, and whatnot. All the dangers that come along with cutting weight and trying to rehydrate and not rehydrating fully, and all the weight cutting. Listen, weight cutting is dangerous. Period. Fighting after a weight cut, so soon after a weight cut, is dangerous. Okay, I acknowledge that. But both fighters signed up to do that. All right, so let's see here. All right, let's do this. So that this is talk, like I said, it just talks this article here, this thing. This is ABC Boxing, right? This is basically like a nationwide boxing thing that tries to propose rules to different states and sanctioning bodies. That's basically what they do. So they do studies. This is a combat sports weight study, right? So they do all this type of shit, right? They talk and they point out bouts where fighters came in and cut a whole bunch of weight and came in very a lot more heavy, and that's cool, right? Yeah, you want to get the data on it. You want to get all the information. So I just wanted to point that out to you guys to help you understand that I tried to be balanced in my research. You understand? So with being balanced in my research, you find a lot of different things out. And again, I could not find anything about this rule having been codified at all. I can't find it. It's just not. I can't find it. I couldn't find an article. It would probably take me a lot of digging to actually find whatever act or bill went through to try to make this happen. I don't know. But it has to go through a legislative process. Because we're talking about these are the shit that the rules and regulations and all that in these commissions. If you violate them, they can be punishable by law. They can be punishable, like as a crime. You understand what I'm saying? So these things have to go through a process. It's not arbitrarily just passing and putting rules in this shit. It has to go through a legislative process. Because you can hold fighters accountable for this type of shit. Because it's like, you know what I'm saying? But they did studies. They performed studies on the effects of weight cut and all that other shit. Diddy made a weak ass apology video. Dude, all these motherfuckers is crazy. But let me get into this now. Now I'm going to go to the California Code of Regulations. All right. This is the California Code of Regulations. All right. So this is what the Westlaw, California Code of Regulations. This is in regards to, the boxing, regulating boxing, right? So you can see here, examination of boxer, physical condition of the boxer, right? You got a whole table of contents. Government.westlaw.com. So if you don't trust that because it's not a .gov, you can go to DCA. Look, it's the same document. This document I'm pulling up now is the same as the one that is. So this is a PDF. It's the same document as the one that I showed you from Westlaw, except for the Westlaw, it'll show you what date the document has an effect until. You know what I'm saying? It tells you, oh, this is effective up to this date. This doesn't have that in there. So it'll tell you the changes that were made and all that type of shit on that document, government.westlaw.com, and you go to again, you go to right California Code of Regulations. Right, go to let me go to table of contents so you know where it's coming from. Right, I mean it has all the little bookmarks, all the little shortcuts. It has all that there. Right, what's good, Bobby B? Cover up names on your text, bro. Oh, this should. I texted it to myself. My name is Marcus. It's all good. So I'm gonna go. It's just easier to navigate. Well, actually, let me just go here. I'm gonna just go to the Westlaw so I can actually show you guys the effective date. All right. Now, you got the table of contents. Right. So you go to the table of contents, and I'm gonna show you where that is. Physicians, certification of physicians, ringside physicians, medical insurance, blah blah blah. Now this is all under Article 6 of this document, right? Article 6, physical examinations and safety, right? This is where this is. This is where all the regulations and all that shit are. That's around boxing, and from contracts to the weigh-in, all that other type of shit. Now you can go down to weighing time. So I'm gonna go to weighing time and go from there. Weighing time. So it tells you when to weigh in, and then under that you go to weights and classes. All right, weights and classes, and then under that, dehydration and rehydration. So everything that you need to know about whether or not Devin cheated, whether or not Devin violated the California State Athletic Commission rules and regulations is all close to each other, right? So I'm gonna go to weighing time. So weighing time, currentness. So look, I just so y'all know, history. Change without regulatory effect of note. So you can go to here, right? It'll tell you all the processes it's going through, right? It'll tell you, and then you click on currentness, right? And it'll tell you how current this is. So you click on currentness. Let's see. Click on currentness. This database right here, this database is current through 5/10/2024. So May 10th. Register 2024, number 19. All right. So that's how current it is. May 10th, 2024. When did Devin Haney fight Regis PROGRAIS? December 9th, 2023. All right, cool. We got that. We got it out of the way. So contestants, it says here under weighing time, contestants shall be weighed within 30 hours of the scheduled match at the time and place designated by the commission in the presence of commission representatives on scales approved by the commission. A club may obtain advanced written permission of the commission to allow preliminary boxers to weigh in and be examined no later than 1 hour before the scheduled time of the first match on the card. All weights shall be taken with the contestants stripped. That means they can't have no clothes on. So it's telling you when the weighing time is. It's telling you got 30 hours. Within 30 hours of the match, up to no later than 1 hour before. Okay? That's just the weighing time. That's it. And it has all the history. It doesn't say, oh, the day of. So then it say nothing about the day of, none of that. You have from 30 hours to 1 hour before the fight of the first card, the first fight on the card. That's when you have until to weigh in. All right. And understand that They're the commission representative present during all this. They choose the scale. They choose, and they watch everything. Okay, so there you go with that. So let me go back to the table of contents, so I can go to weights and classes. So that's what I'm going to, y'all. Weights and classes. Weights and classes. Just so y'all know. Weights and classes. It gives you all the classes from 105 all the way to 195, and over 195 that's heavyweight. So there's nothing after that. Cruiserweight 175 to 195. Now let's go to super middleweight or super lightweight. So super lightweight junior welterweight 135 to 140. All right, 105 or 135 to 140. That's the weight class they fought in. All right. Now it says no contest shall be scheduled, and no contest shall engage in a boxing contestants shall engage in a boxing contest. Now this is important. No contest shall be scheduled, and no contestant shall engage in boxing contest where the weight difference exceeds the allowance as shown in the following schedule, without the written approval of the commission. In the event contestants are different weight classes, the weight difference allowance shall be that for lower classes, for the lower class. So let's say it was just like it wasn't a sanctioned fight, or it was sanctioned fight, but it's not like for any ranking or any belts. You're 135 typically, and whatever. But these guys both fought in the same weight classes. So under this, it gives you a table of your allowance, right? It gives you a table of the allowance for the weight differences between the fighters, okay? Between the fighters. I'm going to read that again. No contest shall be scheduled, and no contestant shall engage in a boxing contest where the weight difference exceeds the allowance as shown in the following schedule, without the written approval of the commission. In the event the contestants are at different weight classes, the weight difference shall be that of the lower class. All right, so it gives you a table from what weight to another, from one weight to another. Shit. It gives you a table from one weight to another, right? It gives you a range of weights, and it tells you what the allowance is, right? What the difference allowance is between fighters, right? I'm not going to read them all to you. I'm going to go straight to 140. All right, but the range is from 136 to 145, right? Basically from super lightweight to welterweight, right? It gives you that range. So the difference shall not be more than 9 pounds between the fighters' weights. Okay, that's what it is. 9 pounds. All right. Currentness. All right. The database is current through 5/10/2024. They fought in December 9th, 2023. All right. So that means what? If your weight class is from 136 to 147, you can have a difference of weights between the contestants of 9 pounds. No more than 9 pounds. All right. So what does that mean? What is that? It doesn't say anything about 15%. I don't see anything about 15%. And this is where I feel like you would find it here. Right. So what does that mean? That means that if Devin came in at 165, like they're trying to say he came in 165, whatever, I don't know. according to somebody that was at the there with Devin at the fight, it wasn't no goddamn one. It wasn't that much. It wasn't. He didn't. According to somebody that was there, it wasn't 165. According to BFTB. So I don't know. Right? That's what he said. And Regis came in at 157.2 pounds. What is the difference between 165 and 157? That is a difference of 8 pounds. So what does that mean? That means that Devin was within the allowance of the weight difference. He was within the weight difference allowance in order for the fight to go on. All right. I don't see anything about a 15%. It tells you, it gives you the parameters under which you can fight in California in regards to weight and classes. All right. Weights and classes. No contest shall be scheduled, and no contestants shall engage in boxing contests where the weight differences exceed allowance as shown in the following schedule, without the written approval of the commission. Don't say nothing about no goddamn 15 minutes or 15%. And again, like I said, from 136 to 147, you're allowed a 9-pound difference. You're allowed a 9-pound difference. Okay? So if Devin Haney came in, and does this even pertain to after the official weigh-in? It doesn't say anything about same-day weigh-in or anything like that. It just says the difference. So let's say they were fighting at 147, right? And Regis couldn't come up to all the way to 147. Devin did, right? Let's say Regis came in at 136 for whatever reason. Then they wouldn't be able to fight because there's more than 9 pounds of a difference. So it doesn't say that. It doesn't say when this applies, right? But it does tell you when the weighing time is, right? It does tell you when the weighing time is in the previous section. It tells you the weighing time. The weighing time is within 30 hours and 1 hour before the first fight of the card, right? That's when you can have your official weigh-in. So, I mean, it doesn't say on the same day. It just says nothing about the same day weigh-in on here. It doesn't say anything about same day weigh-in right here in this fucking document. It doesn't say anything about it. So, if they both came in at 140, guess what? Guess how much of a difference that is? Or if Regis came in at 149, Dev came in at 139, Dev came in at 140. That's less than a pound of a difference. That means there's zero difference. They had zero differences in weight. There's nothing in here that says anything about same day weigh-ins. It tells you that you can weigh in within an hour of the first fight on the card. Yeah, but there's nowhere does it say when you have to do a same day weigh-in. There's nothing that says that. There's nothing that says that. There's nothing that says that after your official weigh-in, 30 hours before the bout, you have to do another weigh-in the day of the bout. Let me see. Let me go back to weighing time just to make sure. Contestants shall be weighed within 30 hours of the scheduled match at the time and place designated by the commission. A club may, and it says in the president of the commission, representative on scales approved by the commission. A club may obtain advance written permission of the commission to allow preliminary boxers to weigh in and be examined not later than one, and you have to get permission to do 1 hour. No later than 1 hour. A club may obtain advance written permission of the commission to allow preliminary boxers. That means not even the main event. I guess preliminary boxers to weigh in and be examined no later than 1 hour before Okay, so what that's telling me is you got to get advance permission uh, to allow preliminary boxers to weigh in and be examined no later than 1 hour of the scheduled time of the first match on the card. So that means within 1 hour, you got to get permission. If you want to get weighed in within 1 hour of the bout or the first fight of the card, you have to get advance written permission. That's what that means. So, again, where does it say anything about 15%? I see nothing. I see nothing. Weighing time, weights and classes, dehydration or rehydration. Let's go to that. Maybe it says something about that in that part. So there's two parts to this, A and B. All this other stuff with credits and, the history of this stuff right here, like when it started, what changes were made, and when, and how current it is. That's what that's showing you. It just says contestants shall only rehydrate orally. Remember in the previous live stream, I was explaining the difference. I was telling y'all about how I was explaining the difference between hydration and rehydration. Yeah, these words are important in these documents. Contestants shall only rehydrate orally. Use of intravenous therapies to rehydrate shall prohibit the athlete from competing. So that means that if you get caught using intravenous therapies to rehydrate, so this would mean after the weigh-in, right? You rehydrate after the weigh-in. So this is this is specific. This is specific. Rules are not laws, and thus do not require. Oh my God! Here this guy goes. Anyway, contestants may be required to submit a urine sample for a urine specific gravity test prior to competition to verify proper hydration. All right. So then if it doesn't have to go through the legislative process, then why is it saying that it has to go through the legislative process? Why are they saying that it has to? Why is it saying that? Why is it saying that? Huh? Why is it saying that? Why is it saying that it has to go through legislation? Why is it saying that? And also, just so you know, a regulation is a law. Regulations are laws. Laws and regulations. What does it say here? I misspoke when I said rules. Laws and regulations. Reading is fundamental. This is on DCA.ca.gov. Laws and regulations. Laws and regulations. Laws and regulations. Okay, I said rules. My bad. Laws and regulations. Laws and regulations. Laws and regulations. Laws and regulations. That's what it says here. Okay, so I said rules. Okay, it's not a fucking rule. It's a law. It's a rule until it becomes a law. It has to go through the legislative process. Understand what I'm talking about? Come on, man. Who you fucking with? Right? I mean, come on, man. Come on. Come on. Laws and regulations. What does it say here? California's new rules is expected to take about a year before it officially goes into effect, as it goes through a legislation process. Legislation process. You read that, man? What language do I have to speak? California's new rule is expected to take a year to go into effect, right? Before it officially goes into effect, as it goes through a legislation process. What are we talking about, bro? Like, what are we talking about? Laws and regulations. 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 Laws. Laws and regulations. If you don't knock it off, you're right. But guess what? Laws and regulations have to go through the legislative process, don't they? Mm-hmm. Yep. Yipper skip. Laws and regulations. Laws and regulations. Come on, man. Miss me with the bullshit, bro. You. Come on. I was born at night, but not last night. Come on now, dog. We're pulling quotes out of your ass. I don't know where you got that from, buddy. Anyway. With all that being said, there's nothing in here, whether it's a fucking, whether what you say is true or not, whether it says whether the state commission has no rules that has the force or effect of law, whether that's true or not, guess what? It says under the laws and regulations, guidelines and policies for officials, business and professions code of contents, from the dca.gov.ca, www.dca.ca.gov/CSAC. They're calling them rules and they're calling them laws and regulations, not rules. And it doesn't say anything about 15% in here at all. This is what governs boxing. You violate some of this shit, you don't think that there's some criminal they can't criminally tie you to something? This is regulated by a government body. The California State Athletic Commission is a governing body. And in order for governing bodies to govern, they have to have the shit that they have in there that they say that you're supposed to do and not supposed to do. It has to go through a legislative process because the government can't do shit without, guess what? Anything they act on, any rule or anything that they understand. Just like the ATF, they have rules that are governed by what they can do and not do by law. So they can't create rules out of nowhere arbitrarily. You understand what I'm saying? They can't create rules, right? Because the ATF is a governing body, like they're doing with the pistol brace, like they're doing with the triggers. You know what I'm saying? The switches on the triggers, like they're doing with trying to do with magazine bans and silencers and all that and suppressors. They're creating rules arbitrarily out of nowhere. They're calling it a rule, but they're making them arbitrarily out of nowhere. Now they're going through what? They're being sued in court because they can't just arbitrarily create laws. They can't create a rule without the rule being, they have to get approval from Congress and the Senate and the president in order to create rules out of thin air. They have to be given that authority, or that rule has to go through the legislative process in order for it to be codified and put into effect. So you send up here this shit right here, miss me with that. Miss me with that. The California State Athletic Commission, and you put the state, get the fuck out of here with that. To protect your hearing? What do you mean? What's wrong with y'all? Haney was overrated and overhyped. That's why Mayweather signed. Where'd you get that talking point from? Which one? Was that Southpaw too? I don't recognize laws made by any other man only. I'm with you on that, Dad Mike. Why do you need a suppressor to protect your hearing? Like if you're going out and you're shooting at the range and you want to protect your hearing, you have to have. It's a way to protect your hearing, right? You can have the earpieces, right, that cover the ear. You are reaching. Oh my God. I'm reading it. I'm reading a government document. The California State Athletic Commission is a governing body. It is part of the California government. You need a civics class. Then, Mike, why would I say that? Why would I say that on a live stream? I'm reading a government document. It's a government document. The California State Athletic Commission is part of the government. It's part of the California government. You do realize that, right? Just like the New York State Athletic Commission. Come on, man. And okay, so let's say it's not. Let's say it's not. This shit right here, right? Just like I went to the other day when I went to the document for the New York State Athletic Commission. Guess where I had to go to? It's a .gov, motherfucker. The New York State Athletic Commission is part of New York State government. You have to. Oh man, you gotta be kidding me with this shit, bro. If you go to the California website, the California government website, and you go, there's a bunch of tabs there that take you to all the regulating bodies of the state of California. Guess what's in there? The California State Athletic Commission. I mean, come on, bro. Like, what am I dealing with here? What am I dealing with? You just making shit up. These are California laws and regulations that govern boxing events. And there have been you saying there's never been a boxer that has been arrested? What are you talking about? This is some man. This is what we be dealing with in this day and age. This is, I mean, it is what it is, though. You know, like I went to a government. Yeah, I went to the government website. The California State Athletic Commission is part of the California government. Boy, man. I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand. California State Athletic Commission. Each state has an athletic commission. It doesn't just deal with boxing. It deals with all manners of sports. It deals with football, basketball, any sporting thing that occurs in that state that has a commission for it. Oh my God. Man, I just don't understand this. I just don't understand it. My God. All right, here we go. So, if you go to this, you see that? This is the California government website. This is dca.ca.gov. What is there? Huh? The California State Athletic Commission. What are we talking about? The fuck? Can we read? What's wrong with you motherfuckers, man? California State Athletic Commission. DCA.ca.gov, motherfucker. What are you talking about? Look, quick hits. Boxers pension and plan enrollment. Expedited licensure of refugee status. Association of Boxing Commissions, Boxers Bill of Rights. There's a Bill of Rights for boxers. That is what? Overseen by the goddamn California State Athletic Commission. Joined the CSAC motherfucking subscriber list. There are fucking laws. I showed you the document. It says laws and regulations. Therefore, you can certainly point to at least one case. Maybe I can. Maybe I'll do that fucking tomorrow. I'm not doing that right now. You go do it. Yeah, it's a fucking law. Yeah. They can fine you. They can damn sure fine you. They can take your motherfucking money. Guess who can do that? Guess who can do that without it being called extortion, which it is? The government. The government can extort you freely and get away with it because they're the fucking government. The California State Athletic Commission can fine you, and under certain circumstances, if they can press charges on you, they can fine you. They can do all that shit. Yes, I will look it up. I'll look it up. Fuck it, big dog. I can't think he's trying. He's not. He's being intellectually dishonest, or he's no. I'm not going for that. I guess they don't. Well, there's multiple definitions of laws, and there's laws. There's like laws of science, like law of physics, Newton's law, the law of thermodynamics, and then there's so-called man-made laws that the elites, they tell you that they create to dictate your life. But that's a different ball of wax right there. But this is on a government website. This is the California government website, where it has the California State Athletic Commission, DC or DCA.ca.gov. That is what it is, whether you want it to be or not. Whether you want it to be or not, the California State Athletic Commission is part of the government of California. The New York State Athletic Commission is part of the New York government. The Nevada State Athletic Commission is part of the Nevada government. And within that, they have the leagues. They have they have the different leagues that have to operate under the New York State Athletic Commission, or the Vegas Athletic Commission, California, laws of nature, whatever you want to think a law is, or whatever. But the bottom line is, this is a government. The California State Athletic Commission is part of the California government. This document is a document of laws and regulations that regulate boxing, that regulate this particular document. Whether they can fine you for it or arrest you, you saying that you break laws, you got to be able to go to jail for it. That's not necessarily true, because there are laws of the road that if you violate, they just give you a fucking ticket. Now, if you don't pay the fine, or you try to skip bail or whatever, then they can put a bench warrant out for you, and then they can make you come to court or whatever. But this shit is laws and regulations, bro. Like, real shit, real spill. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to suspend you. They wouldn't be able to fine you. They wouldn't be able to do any of that. If you don't sign the ticket, they will jam you up. But guess what? When you sign up to fight in a boxing match, you gotta operate. You operate under that. And the only way they can force you to pay a fine, if you violate one of their laws and regulations, is if they are government and they extort you and get away with it. It's legal extortion. Is this the Devin was cheated live? No. It's the they trying to say Devin cheated live. It's simple as a pimple. But they try to make it difficult. People like John BX don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're making shit up. They are laws. Now I got to go find a boxer that was arrested or an athlete that was arrested. An athlete? Really? So you don't want to narrow it down to boxer? So all I got to do is find an athlete that was prosecuted for violating the commission laws. Okay. Prosecuted. You didn't say arrested. So if you are found, you go to your hearing, right? If they say you cheated or you violated, you go to your hearing, and guess what? If you get found guilty in that hearing, you got prosecuted. That's happened to plenty of boxers. That has happened to plenty of athletes throughout the history of athleting, while there were commissions to extort them and to make them pay for shit and to prosecute them. Anyway, I'm done, man. I gotta, y'all kill me. Anyway, thank y'all for coming through. If you broke land Bala, if you didn't catch what this was about, you can go do the replay. You can rewind it to the beginning. I'm basically pointing out that there's nothing in the California State Athletic Commission document that governs boxing that says that they have to be within 15% of their contracted weigh-in amount. There's nothing in there that says that. What it does say is that the difference between fighters, the weight difference between fighters, cannot be more than a certain amount of pounds, and they have a table for it. They have a schedule for it. You look at the schedule, it gives you the range of weights, and it tells you how much of a difference you can have between you and the other fighter. But that's just for the official weigh-in. It doesn't say anything about same-day weigh-in or anything like that. That's just official weigh-in, which you have 30 hours to 1 hour to have. So you have to have a weigh-in, an official weigh-in, between 30 hours and 1 hour of the first fight on the card. And during that weigh-in, you cannot weigh more or less than a certain amount of pounds of the other fighter. So, it's either that or the official weigh-in amount, which is, so let's say 140, you can't come in over 149. But that is because in New York, if you're over 5 pounds, then you can't fight. It's kind of like that. So I don't know. It just says the difference. It doesn't say whether it's a difference between fighters' weights or a difference between the contracted weight. So like say you come in overweight, you come in over on your official weigh-in. If you weigh more than 9 pounds over, you can't fight. Period. Or if you come in at 131 or less, you can't fight. But, I can't make the distinction right now. Well, that's Big Dog. You got some good food and a beer. Oh, I'm good. I'm relaxed. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is. I'm not upset at all. But, sometimes you gotta, ooh-wee. Anyway, much love, guys. Thank you for coming through. Like, share, subscribe, and we're going to keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.